in 22. The earlier game today, Norfolk State defeated Maryland Eastern Shore. The Hawks gave the Spartans a scare down the stretch, but number one seeded Norfolk State wins that one 77-70. And now we look at the bottom half of the bracket. South Carolina State taking on Coppin State. The winner of this game will face either Delaware State or North Carolina Central on Friday. Alongside Coach Cy Alexander, I'm Jonathan Duran. We're so glad to have you with us here in Scope Arena. We already saw one great game, and now we're ready for another. Coppin State, strong team that's put it together down the stretch. And then for South Carolina State, Norfolk State, we talked they stumbled their way into the postseason. Bulldogs have won their last 9.
Tell you what, the Bulldogs come into the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Tournament as the hottest team in the league. They've won 9 in a row. They do it by 2 things. Do it by committee and by defense. As far as Coppin State is concerned, they're coming off a big win against Morgan State University where they played really, really well. Hopefully, they can see whether they can keep it going.
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, they like to schedule things out so that their teams will play their rivals at the end of the year. For Coppin State having a tough year, able to go and take down Morgan State in overtime, gives them a lot of juice as they come into the postseason. And one of the guys that's leading the way is Darius Ward.
Darius Ward is a young man. He's leading them in scoring. 6'6", very versatile, very athletic, runs the floor, and Coach Larry Stewart is looking for him to have a big game tonight.
And on the other side for South Carolina State, first team all MEAC, all defensive player as well, Drayton Jones. That's who the Bulldogs are going to depend on.
He's the anchor. He has improved tremendously offensively. Worked all summer with my man John Lucas out in Houston at his camp. He has really improved his offensive skills. Look for the Bulldogs to play through Drayton Jones.
We are just about ready for the second quarterfinal game here. A few years ago, Coppin State came out of nowhere. They had one Division I win. And all of a sudden, they were playing on Saturday for a league championship against Norfolk State. Leading the way was Jesse Zarzuela. I don't know if you remember that. He missed a lot of the season, came back, and was the guy that really pushed them in the postseason. And you wanted to highlight Darius Ward. He missed about 15 games. Played at the start of the year, missed the middle, came back around, and he's leading the team in scoring and a chance now to charge them into Saturday.
I tell you what, it's March Madness, Jonathan. Let's see what happens. Ward, having him back is a big, big plus for Coach Larry Stewart.
The opening tip controlled by South Carolina State. The first shot is blocked out of bounds.
And you almost got to score off the tip, which is very rare in college basketball these days. A little slip up by the Coppin State Eagles.
South Carolina State, the upper seed, they're in white. Coppin State in the blue jerseys. Down low inside and easy money for Jalen Johnson.
Great baseline out of bounds pass that play that time by the Bulldogs. And they open it up. They're going to play full court pressure for 40 minutes. They're going to play a lot of people.
And a look at the bottom of the screen, the starting lineups presented by Wells Fargo. It's a beautiful reverse. It's put down inside by Toby Nadozi. See him on the far left. A transfer from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, a former Hawk, and now playing for Coppin State. MEAC Defensive Player of the Year and a third-team All-MEAC selection. Inside, here's Florian Tenebe. First shot is packed. Second shot is wild. Out of bounds. It'll go to CSU.
Nice reverse layup that time by Nadozi. But again, you got two teams that are really getting after it right now on the defensive end.
Florian Tenebe, also part of the starting 5 for South Carolina State. Also presented by Wells Fargo. A 2-2 game. Both teams with layups inside. Coppin State able to break their way through the full court pressure of South Carolina State, and a blocking foul called down low. That'll go against Jaden Johnson, who had the first 2 points.
As you see, Horton that time attacked off the dribble. I saw him play against Morgan State about a week ago, and he shot the lights out of it. He just was tremendous from the three-point line, and he's coming into this game only shooting 27% from the three. That game, you would have thought he was Steph Curry.
Kylie Horton, the 6'8" sophomore forward from Erie, Pennsylvania, came through Keystone Academy.
And he had to make 3 free throws against Morgan State in that ball game, pressure free throws. He made all 3 of them from the line, I think, to send the game into overtime. And the Bears, the Eagles ended up winning the ball game.
Pressure makes diamonds. And Horton able to shine in that game against Morgan State.
No doubt.
First of 2. And he's able to roll in both.
He's probably playing with a lot of confidence following that Morgan State game. And you see the Eagles in a soft 1-2-2 3/4 pressure. Great hands.
And a beautiful Euro step skip to Mailou Toby Nadozie, MEAC Defensive Player of the Year.
He's off to a great start. Quick hands, Nadozie.
South Carolina State working the ball through the pressure. Johnson shovels it out to Tenebet. 3 on the way from Omar Krosky. Skipped off the right side of the iron.
Krosky rushed that one that last time. Nice scramble defense by the Eagles.
Cameron Brown wearing the number 3, joined on his team by his brother Karan Brown. So Cameron in the starting lineup. It's his 21st start of the year and his 30th appearance. 10 to fire for CSU. Floater, Nadozie can be used in an emergency.
Off to a great start is Nadozie.
Florian Tenebet, the 3 quick in transition. Too strong. South Carolina State last year had a chance to put themselves into the semifinal round. And for whatever reason, just became absolutely bone dry in the second half and shot themselves out of the game. In danger of doing so early here. Down 8-2. Here's Nadozie driving in. And not able to put that one down, but it's rebounded by Horton. Horton flies through off the window, and that's going to prompt a quick timeout by South Carolina State.
Very good timeout right now by Coach Eric Martin as the Bulldogs are getting off to a very slow start. The Eagles are flying high.
A 10-2 start for CSU. And a lot of it has been pushed forward by Toby Nadozie. He was able to get the steal and score at the point of that 1-2-2 full-court press that you mentioned. And he has just been pushing this team forward. He has 6 of his team's 10.
And he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's got everybody else going. And again, coming off a big win, as you see right there, Nadozie, quick hands, coming off a win like the Morgan State win, a crosstown inner city rivalry. These young men are ready to play.
In the first game, we saw the lower seeded number 8 seed Maryland Eastern Shore able to take it to the upper seeded team, and the same thing is happening right now. Toby Nadozie, 3 for 4 from the floor, 6 points.
And in talking with Coach Stewart this week, he said something to me. He said, Coach, we got to play with no fear. We got to play to win. And we can't just play to be happy to be here. We've got to play to win. And right now, that's what it appears the Eagles are doing.
Wilson Dubinsky, his triple hits the mark.
It's a big shot right there by Dubinsky.
South Carolina State rolling out that patented full-court press that's been doctored up by Eric Martin.
He is a disciple.
Darius Ward has a shot blocked.
Bob Huggins from West Virginia, Coach Martin is. That's why you see the all-out frantic type defensive style.
The disciple of Press Virginia, as it were.
Yeah.
Inbound goes in for Ward. Low block. Fadeaway jumper. Oh, off glass.
Oh, looked like LeBron James that time. And then it's a little fall away.
Had a little something to say to the bench as well as he walked up. So South Carolina State in hot water early on, trailing 12-5. Mitchell Taylor, point guard, will send it over for Dubinsky. 10 to shoot. Inside, Jones has his pass tipped as it headed to the corner. Bulldogs were organized with 5 to fire.
See what they do with this baseline out of bounds play. They had a nice one the last time they got the ball back to the guy that took the ball out to Johnson. You see the Bulldogs will substitute freely. They'll play 10 to 12 players. You got Teal in the ball game now.
Teal, jumper on the baseline, won't rattle home. Bulldogs try to fight for it inside, but sure hands for Peter Oduro, who gets the rebound. Quick pass up ahead as they were able to find Darius Ward, but he's fouled and will walk to the line.
Poor defensive transition that time by the Bulldogs as they allowed Ward to leak out. Nice advance pass. Created the foul situation.
Camera operator taking a hit there.
Ward shooting 72% from the free throw line. Averaging right at 5 points a game. As we got a break in the action for a second.
I want to give a quick shout out to that camera op. I've been a camera op in the past and nearly run over on the sideline, on sidelines. Marcel Jones standing tall there, getting the shot for us.
You do your thing, Mr. Marcel. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the camera people. You make us look good.
Free throw missed there, rebounded by Taylor. Coach, my time as a camera operator, I once nearly got ran over by Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, wow.
And now we're here on the sideline. We get run over by all these MEAC basketball players chasing down the rock on the sideline. Davion Everett on the baseline. Mitchell Taylor, jumper inside the arc line, drive short. Rebounded inside by Darius Ward. And a foul on the rebound attempt will go against SC State. Omar Krosky gets his first. Coppin State leads this one early on by 8. Up to 2004, 5 MEAC tournament championships, 89, 96, 98, 2000, 2003. And that last tournament championship came by the way of Coach Cy Alexander. Oh, Coach, that's you!
And those other 4, too. you trying to slight me, go give me one?
I know you got to be really excited to see how this Bulldog program is performing now.
I'll tell you what, Coach Martin is doing an excellent job. And, you know, I spoke to the team about 2 weeks ago, and these guys are, like I said, on a 9-game winning streak.
Rebound in there by Davion Everett. By the way, 276 wins in 16 seasons and 521 seasons for you, Coach, down in Orangeburg.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Under 16 to play here in the first 20. Michael Teal tried the no-look pass. Nearly turns it over. Davion Everett stumbling down. He was trying to pin down his pivot foot, but just gives it up.
I tell you what, the Eagles are certainly doing what their coach asked them to do as far as keys to the victory. And talking to Coach Stewart, he said play to win with no fear, rebound strong, and limit live ball turnovers. They are certainly doing those 3 things.
And the Bulldogs able to force a turnover. Here comes Mitchell Taylor. Davion Everett gets the steal. Pump fake, Krosky drives in. Everett baseline jumper, too strong, and it's rebounded by Coppin State. The offense not quite running there for South Carolina State, but the defense is there for them. I tell you what, if you're getting onto the hardwood with South Carolina State, there might as well be 4 chain link walls coming down, because it's almost hell in a cell the way that South Carolina State is on defense. And you see the pressure continuing here. Julius Ellerby III trying to beat the horn. Contorts, can't finish. Rebounded by CSU. And a bucket inside by Cameron Sparrow.
Strong rebound that time by Sparrow.
Defensively, South Carolina State, they lead the MEAC in scoring margin. They're second in field goal percentage allowed, second in three-point percentage allowed, and first in rebounds allowed, and in rebounding margin, and first in steals. As the floater, yeah, they'll count it. How about it for Mitchell Taylor?
Nice spin move that time by Taylor. Great body control. About to get a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
And that stops a long drought. Look at that. Put that one on the highlight reel. Taylor with a three-point play opportunity. Sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. The thing that can be said about South Carolina State, this is a very young team. And on the opposite side, Coppin State is one of just 4 Division I teams without a freshman on the roster.
Wow. They've been working the portal very hard. That's what you do now. You recruit the portal.
Coppin State chases the inbound up the floor. And running after that one. Let's see what number. I think that's Michael Teal is trying to chase down Zari Harrison.
You could see that happening. Teal was focused in almost like a linebacker going after it. You could see the foul. It was just waiting to happen.
It was a very uncomfortable inbound. You see Michael Teal come crashing in. But
exactly.
It starts on the other end by the fact that Coppin State didn't even inbound it to a player. They sent it up
to a spot. Right. And it was very, very important that time that Harrison was able to recover the basketball.
Coppin State working with a 7-point lead. Here's Ellerby. Matched up with Teal. Horton for 3. And that's off target.
And see, the other day, Horton was making that shot. Shoots an air ball, his first one. I don't know if that will deflate his confidence or not, but you know, the coach knows he can do it because he certainly did it for him the other day.
Not afraid to send it up. Jones, Taylor, 3, right side. Skips off the front. Rebounded by CSU. And South Carolina State continues to struggle here. 3 for 11 from the floor. Coppin State shooting 55%, 6 of 11. Harrison at midcourt. We're going to drive right into the heart of the zone. Drops it off. And nice passing from Coppin State, but Davion Everett says no.
Great ball movement that last possession by the Eagles, but a great offside defensive block by Davion Everett. Davion Everett, excuse me.
We see him here on the backside recovery. Swat that one down, but Coppin State able to get 2 points no matter what. Peter Oduro.
Nice baseline out of bounds play. We call that a blob. Screener, screener, screener.
South Carolina State trying to find some answers. McKenzie able to put that one in.
Nice little post-up action from the mid-range.
Transfer from Spartanburg Methodist in upstate South Carolina. Hails out of Charleston in the Low Country. Wide open jumper, and he'll take those all day. Peter Oduro.
Off to a great start is Mr. Oduro. And speaking of Spartanburg Methodist, they always had great programs, even when I was back in Orangeburg.
Coppin State leading by 9. Led by as many as 10. Jones inside. Hassled as he goes to the 10.
And Jones might have gotten away with a walk that last time.
He'll charge this one to Kylie Horton. He gets his first. That's just the first team foul for Coppin State.
And that's what Larry Stewart is having a conversation with him now about his positioning. He should have been over one step higher on the matchup zone to eliminate the attack of the basket by Drayton Jones.
And correction, that's the second. First free throw is no good, and for South Carolina State, they're not getting it going from the perimeter. They're not getting it going from the floor. Need to get it going from the free throw line. As we look at the Coppin State bench, and Eric Martin was taken over here. Coppin State, they've had some troubles as a program over the last few years. They've rotated through a few coaches over the last 6 seasons. And now it's Eric Martin's turn to try to right the ship for a very proud Coppin State program.
You're talking about South Carolina State program. You saying Coppin?
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Larry Stewart, rather, for Coppin State.
Oh, great pass.
Inside.
Great pass.
Layup missed. Rebounded by Jones. He's pivoting, trying to find some help.
That's what happens when you got a 6'11", 290 monster like Drayton Jones is in the middle.
Krosky, that's for 3. Quick timeout taken by CSU, and Larry Stewart is not happy with the defensive effort from Kyle Horton and the rest of these Eagles.
And I tell you what, one of the greatest players to ever play at Coppin State was Larry Stewart. Played in the NBA for the Washington Wizards. I coached against him.
A look at Larry Stewart and his Eagles. Coppin State is leading this one. Made a run to the league final back in the 21-22 season. Jesse Zarzuela missed a whole bunch of time, came through, and all of a sudden the number 7 seed was playing number 1 Norfolk State with a chance to play in the big dance. And now they're looking for their first tournament appearances in 2008. 1997, they made history when they took down Pittsburgh, the first 15 seed to win in the NCAA tournament, and almost went to the Sweet 16, lost to Texas by 2.
And I tell you what, they had a great coach, and Ron Fang Mitchell. Coach Mitchell lives down in the Kennesaw area now. We had a lot of great battles during our tenure as coaches at Coppin State and South Carolina State.
Fang Mitchell, one of the many legendary coaches that have run through this conference, as the jumper was missed by Ward. You can check out that 1997 Coppin State team in the ESPN 30 for 30 on in Coppin. It's a fantastic watch. I've enjoyed it. Probably go home and watch it again once the tournament's done. McKenzie able to rattle home. That's for 2. That's inside the arc.
Excellent hollow action that time to create the opening for McKenzie.
Jumper for 3. That's all cotton from Toby Nadozie.
He is having an outstanding first half, is Nadozie.
9 points. He's only missed once from the floor. He leads all scorers. Coppin State up by 5. Bounce pass. On the right side, here's Nadozie. Shakes his way up. High shot missed. Now the Bulldogs will try to run. Krosky from NBA range in transition.
Fast-paced action right now. Space and pace as far as the basketball game is concerned, playing at a high pace.
Coach Eric Martin in South Carolina State ready to make a line change to the next opportunity. 3 in the corner. Miss, as that was offered up by Darius Ward. Running the floor now is South Carolina State. The layup was blocked from Jaden Johnson. Long outlet pass up the floor, Nadozie. Hands this one off for Ward. Now Coppin State into the half-court set. It'll be Nadozie who will start things here. He finds Horton. He's open. That 3 is no good off the left.
That's the shot that he was making a week ago versus Morgan State.
9.5 to play here in the first 20 minutes. 22-16 is the count. Jaden Johnson doesn't get a clean look. And here comes Coppin State again, chaining passes up the floor. Backside of lob, Kyle Horton!
Don't be so mean, young fella. You don't make the 3, but I can slam it in. I can have a jam session, my man.
Zari Harrison was looking at Horton the entire way up the floor. You saw as soon as he got across midcourt, his eyes flashed open. Inside, here's Jones. Leaves that one short. Rebounded by Horton. And nothing is going for South Carolina State. Nadozie pulls in transition. That's no good.
That wasn't a good shot. I'm sure Coach Stewart didn't like that shot. And Nadozie's having a great half, but that wasn't the shot that he wanted. But I know he liked that jam action from Horton.
South Carolina State has been able to find some ways in, but Coppin State still running. Alley-oop jam to Kyle Horton.
It's a nice replay. Perfect pass by Harrison.
24-16, Coppin State leads, and they've been getting it done inside, outscoring South Carolina State 14-2. And just a look here at how Coppin State has been able to slice apart this vaunted Bulldog defense.
And I tell you what, they are attacking on each possession. And again, I go back to what Coach Stewart said to me on the phone this week. He said, Coach, we've got to play with no fear. And that's what the Coppin State Eagles are doing.
Once you get to this point of the year, the only option you have is to win.
Right. Survive and advance.
South Carolina State trying to find a way to survive and advance to Friday. Mitchell Taylor with 10 to fire. McCarty off the pivot, able to knock it down, and that ends a 2.5-minute scoring drought.
Good footwork that time by McCarty.
And now the press back in action for South Carolina State. Coppin State has got to call the timeout here, and this is where South Carolina State makes their bread and butter. Coach, you coached at Smith Hammond Middleton Memorial Center. It's a little bit of a box. And the way that they press, it's almost like they're pushing their opponents to the walls.
Right, and they do a great job of constantly keeping pressure. Like Coach Martin just substituted 5, like you call it a hockey substitution. They substituted 5 for 5. And back when I was growing up, I used to watch the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and the legendary coach Dean Smith would bring in 5 guys that he called the blue team, and they would come in and just create havoc for about 2 minutes, and that's all they would do. And right now, Coach Martin has his blue team in, led by Teal, just trying to create pressure to wear Coppin down.
And Coach, you also mentioned at the top of the broadcast how South Carolina State plays as a team, able to force a turnover here. There's really not one player that really stands out yet. Drayton Jones and Omar Krosky are both averaging over 10 points a game, but the rest of the squad,
right,
are all together at about 5 points each. Everybody is sharing the rock.
Strength in numbers is their philosophy.
It's like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's Michael Teal back to the bucket. Spin it around the perimeter to Dubinsky. Tenabe has it knifed away by Horton. He'll try to take off here. The layup instead. Pretty move.
Great hands that time by Horton. And he's missed his 2 3-pointers, but he's finished at the rim now. 2 in a row.
Points number 15 and 16 in the paint for CSU. Taylor, tough shot. No whistle there. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with SC State as Drayton Jones gets ready to come back in.
Give both teams credit. They both are playing tremendously hard, especially on the defense. Here you go right here. Bulldogs might have got away.
Michael Teal wide open in the corner off the inbound.
Because that ball looked like it went out on Travinsky.
You saw the reaction from Coach Stewart when they inbound to a wide open Teal. Here's Kali Horton, and able to make some magic inside for CSU. Eagles lead by 5. Pass goes down low for Nadozie. 7 seconds. Nadozie missed. Shot nearly rebounded inside by Cameron Brown, and he couldn't hold on. Michael Teal drives baseline. Nearly turned it over, and now they do give it away. South Carolina State playing a little bit too fast for themselves.
Yeah, they got to play under control.
Caleb McCarty called for the foul here.
This game is right here. You see good hands that time by Horton.
You mentioned the team wreaking havoc. South Carolina State definitely offering the press, forcing Coppin State to play fast. South Carolina State playing fast as well, but a little bit out of control. Nadozie beyond the arc. Yes.
Nadozie's having a big-time game in this first half.
That's now 12.
Exactly. And he's shooting at a very high percentage.
Dubinsky. Free throw line jumper, good.
Dubinsky's been steady for the Bulldogs all year.
Still a 6-point lead for Coppin State. Nadozie goes right up the middle. Drayton Jones erases that one from existence. Oh my goodness.
He was the rim protector that time. Here it is right here. Came from the weak side. Get that stuff out of here, young fella.
Coppin State resets. Morton off the jab, finds an open alleyway, and lays it in on the finger roll. Bulldogs run fast. Krosky gets down to the low block. Shot is missed, but tapped in by Everett.
Good follow that time, and that's what Everett does. He plays very, very well from the weak side.
Coppin State operating comfortably, shooting almost 50% from the floor, 13 of 27. 3 on the way left side. Oh, good gracious. When it's going for Coppin State.
Darius Ward, who's missed a lot of the season.
Davion Everett trades 3 for 2, and Coppin State is happy to make that exchange right now.
I tell you what, you got back and forth action. Both teams are really getting it going right now on the offensive end.
Eagles just hit their 3rd tray of the first half. Darius Ward. Triple team, gives it up. Wilson Dubinsky gets the steal. Slows things down, finds a wide open Davion Everett. Missed it while he was all alone, and instead has 2 free throws. One more look here is Everett able to knife that one away. Free throws coming up now for South Carolina State.
Ward missed the chippy, but he's going to the free throw line. So far this year from the line, he's shooting right at, let's see.
Just about 70%.
70%, exactly.
First one rolls out.
The next 4 minutes, can the Coppin State Eagles extend the lead from 7 to 14, or can the Bulldogs of South Carolina State cut the lead to 1 or 2?
1 of 2 good from the line for Everett. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first 20. The lead has been 6 for a while for Coppin State. They ran out to a 10-2 lead early on, and they've been able to keep South Carolina State at bay. Step back tray left side. Julius Ellerby trebuchets that one home.
Whoa, that's a Steph Curry look that time.
Wilson Dubinsky off the shake. Coppin State knocking down these 3-pointers. They shoot it at under 30% as a team. They're now at 50% in this game, 4 of 8. Darius Ward with the ball now.
And what you don't want to happen if you're Coppin State is fall in love with the 3-point shot, because you're really not a 3-point shooting team.
Julius Ellerby joins in on the 3-party. Coppin State, run it. South Carolina State in the huddle right now, trying to figure some things out as they trail Coppin State by 7. But on the left side, you see all of those statistical categories for South Carolina State. They're either number 1 or number 2 within the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and all of those, one of the best defensive teams in this conference and one of the best defensive teams in the nation.
And they're scoring points off of their defense. And this is a windshield wiper type of a game. It's back and forth, back and forth. But the difference right now is Coppin's ability to make the 3-ball.
And they have been knocking it down with aplomb. They are 4 of 8 from downtown. So Julius Ellerby cashing in as well on that step-back triple from NBA range. South Carolina State able to knock away the inbound. Baseline drive, skying to the glass. Cameron Sparrow playing for his hometown team out of Baltimore, went through Newtown High School.
Sparrow took that one right to the rim, straight line, baseline drive.
Inside, here's McCarty. It'll dribble handoff action and ends up on the left side with McKenzie. Johnson, cross-court pass. McKenzie open in the corner. Files that one away in triplicate.
Excellent ball movement that time by the Bulldogs. Somebody fell asleep on the weak side for the Coppin State Eagles. McKenzie knocked it down.
Bulldogs now trying to shoot themselves back into the game. They just hit their third triple. Cutting pass to the corner for Harrison. And he's trying to find a cut for Nadozi, but instead goes out of bounds.
2:47. Who's going to make the run towards the end of the first half? Bulldogs are playing with a little bit more confidence on the offensive end right now.
Double teamed in the backcourt is Jaden Johnson, able to work his way through the pressure from Cameron Brown. Everett at the point. Here's Dubinsky driving baseline, able to fade the first defender, but it's missed. Coppin State thought about running, and that's where they made a lot of their money here in this first half.
Right. They've been very efficient on the offensive end against the pressure by SC State.
Cameron Brown finds Ellerby, 10 to shoot, Coppin State. Drive left side, Ward, try to go double clutch, has it swatted through his hands out of bounds.
Got 5 seconds on the shot clock. Let's see what type of baseline out of bounds play the Eagles will come up with.
Start out of the stack. Here's Ellerby, nearly stumbles, somehow keeps it, fading away, and he misses the iron.
Yeah, that was a disaster waiting to happen from the very beginning.
Butt travel.
Butt travel.
About 5 possessions, you'd say, left in this half?
Yes.
South Carolina State with the first of them. They draw the foul, trying to go inside for Drayton Jones. Julius Ellerby the third. A little bit too overzealous on the defense. He gets his first.
Nice flex cut that time by McKenzie to create the weak side opening for Drayton Jones. The pass was just a little errant, but they got a break that time by the officiating.
Coppin State still has 2 fouls to give before they send South Carolina State to the bonus. As Colin McKenzie flashes open off the cut and knocks down the shot on the inbound.
He's 3 for 3 right now coming off the bench.
Nadozi able to hand that one off to Ward. And Nadozi able to cut through the defense. Pass taken away, given right to South Carolina State. Everett gets the steal. Dubinsky won't take the 3. McKenzie goes through the layup.
He is having an outstanding game. 4 for 4. They've cut it to 2. Just what we talked about. Who was going to make the extension?
Bulldogs have made 6 of their last 8. Coppin State hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. A 7-0 run for the number 2 seed South Carolina State. Trying to either tie this one or take a lead before the break. 3 on the way from Ward. Off the front iron. You go for 2, you go for 3 here, Coach.
Whatever the best look is.
And a good look on the crossover. Swatted away. Inside, Coppin State has it. Timers are matching up. Here's a drive on the no-look. The reverse layup for Darius Ward.
Excellent pass that time by Cameron Brown to Ward.
15 seconds. Shot clock is off. Johnson matched with Cameron Brown. Double team. Has it nearly ripped away, but a whistle at midcourt.
Good trap, but a little overzealous by the Coppin State Eagles. Actually was a good foul because they don't go to the free throw line. And you got to play now with 6.8 seconds left to go in the first half. Let's see what the Bulldogs do with this side out of bounds. What you're trying to do if you're Coach Stewart is play without fouling and contest everything.
Coppin State can still give up one more non-shooting foul before sending South Carolina State to the line. Mitchell Taylor lets it go for three. No. Tipped twice, but it can't find the twine. Out of bounds with 0.3 of a second. South Carolina State is going to have to try to lob one.
Yeah, you got to just tap it in now. You can't look for an over-the-top pass to Drayton Jones.
Drayton Jones an option, 6'11". Colin McKenzie, 6'6", also an option. He goes for Jones. He leaves it short. South Carolina State, the number 2 seed, dreaming of possibly making it to Saturday, looking for their first league tournament championship in 22 years, but they trail the number 7 seed Coppin State by 4, 41-37 after 20.
The bold
number 2 seed South Carolina State, 41-37. Second half coming up later on.
They say
20 minutes in the books, 20 minutes yet to come. Coppin State trying to upset the number 2 seeded South Carolina State. Lead 41-37. They've been getting it done inside the paint. Coach, Coppin State right now is leading South Carolina State 22-10 inside.
Tell you what, that's letting you know that they're playing with no fear. And Darius Ward, Nadozie, those guys are really playing hard, and give Coppin State a lot of credit. They're not turning the ball over at a high rate versus South Carolina State's all-out pressure.
Both teams have pulled down 18 rebounds, and like you said, it's been a very free-flowing first half of play, but only a handful of turnovers, just 5 on each side. Here's a look back at our first 20 minutes of play.
And give McKenzie from South Carolina State, who's actually leading them in scoring, 5 for 5 from the field. Without his contributions in the first half, this would be a double-digit lead for the Coppin State Eagles.
You saw early on Coppin State running, and here's this big jam from Kylie Horton, who said, I want to fly like an eagle. Coppin State knocking it down from downtown. Both teams are 4 for 9 from the perimeter. Here's Kylie Horton, who's been carrying the banner for CSU. He has 10. Toby Nadozie has 12 as well. But as you mentioned, Coach, right there on your screen right now, it's been Colin McKenzie who stepped off the bench and has contributed 11 points, 5 for 5, including a three-pointer.
I tell you what, he's done an outstanding job coming off the bench. He's gotten right at almost 10 minutes. But give Kylie Horton, who had a great shooting game against Morgan State, has eliminated the 3 tonight and really attacked the rim. As you see, the field goals, 15 of 35 for the Bulldogs, 17 of 32 for the Eagles, 18 rebounds apiece, as you said. Both teams shooting 4 for 9. Bench points is always going to be an advantage for South Carolina State because they play so many people. But the key stat, 22 points in the paint versus 10 for the Coppin State Eagles. And the one thing that I noticed in our halftime stats is Drayton Jones only has 2 attempts, only has 1 point, and is not getting the ball. Give Coppin State a lot of credit. Their defensive game plan was to deny Jones from getting the basketball, and so far for 20 minutes it has worked to perfection.
It's worked out well, yes, for Coppin State. You mentioned the bench scoring. South Carolina State is number 2 in the nation as far as bench points are concerned. They average about 36.8 off the bench. The number 1 team in the nation, Southern University, at 39.4.
Right. Well, again, as we talked about in the pregame, their philosophy is strength in numbers. They're going to play. At one time, as you saw, they substituted 5 for 5. So he has not shortened his rotation one bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's played right at 10 people. So again, the way they play, they have to substitute, because if you're out there over 3-4 minutes, you cannot extend yourself as hard as they play, because they're pressuring for 40 minutes almost the entire game.
And the minutes have been shared for South Carolina State. Florian Tenepe has played just under 4 minutes. That's the fewest. Everybody else has played 5 or more. 10 players in for South Carolina State, 8 in for Coppin State. And now we'll see which team's setup is going to work out better for them. We've got 20 minutes to go here before we have half of our semifinal set.
First 5 minutes are key. Either increase the lead or cut the lead.
That's Coach Cy Alexander. I'm Jonathan Duran. Welcome inside Scope Arena. If you're just joining us, saying hello from your mobile device, your laptop, your TV. Hope you're watching this on TV. This deserves to be on a big screen. First shot of the second half missed by Toby Nadozie. He really took over that first half for CSU.
Great execution that time. He just missed the shot.
Now South Carolina State with a chance to strike first in the second half. Dubinsky, jumper inside the arc, good for 2.
Dubinsky does a good job, has a nice follow through.
And here comes that press again from South Carolina State. Nadozie able to send it through. Left side, and now back out. Nadozie, long distance, missed it from NBA range. Long outlet pass at the floor. Here's Jones. He's too far ahead. As you mentioned, he only has a handful of attempts. They try to feed him one right there.
They're trying to get him to basketball. They want to get him going. They got to play through him. He comes into the ball game leading the team in scoring, averaging right around 14 points a game. So far tonight, he only has 2, I believe.
South Carolina State trying to force a turnover at center court. The ball goes out of bounds, but most importantly, it looks like it got across the timeline.
And that's the worst place on the court to pick up the ball, because now the half-court line is also a defender. And I'm sure Coach Stewart will address that in a timeout. You cannot pick up the ball right there. You've got to advance it further.
Able to avoid the 10 count from the South Carolina State defense. Inbound goes for Cameron Brown, but he gives it up. Here comes South Carolina State. Krosky trying to will his way in. And he draws a foul from Cameron Brown, who can't believe it.
And right now, just what we talked about, the Bulldogs, like the slow start in the first half, are having the quick start in the second half, and the Eagles seem to be in a funk.
And just some wild dribbling there from Omar Krosky. Able to keep a handle on it. Throws his body, he draws the foul.
And he did not go to the free throw line in the first half, but he knocks this one down. So he's off to a good start.
That's just the 10th combined free throw between these two teams.
Yeah, the officials, because the game has been like a windshield wiper back and forth, they haven't called a lot of fouls, which is good. Game has been flowing.
1 of 2 from the line. And the press back in action. If this is how South Carolina State is going to win this game, they're showing their hand. This is how they want to do it.
And the pressure is getting to the Coppin State Eagles, and what Coach Stewart has got to do is he's got to kind of get his guys under control and really walk through how you want to attack this pressure.
Here's Dubinsky at the point, matched with his opposite number, Darius Ward. Krosky just at the free throw line. Davion Everett works around the seal made down low by Drayton Jones.
And that's the first lead.
Darius Ward tried to throw an alley-oop.
And he tried to catch it with one hand versus 2.
Horton thought that it was tipped. He was looking for the official for some help. Opposite side, shot missed, rebounded by Everett. They lost it out of bounds. Let's say a last touch by CSU.
And the Bulldogs are off to the kind of start they need to have to get control and take control of this game. Look for an over-the-top pass and a duck in by Jones.
Leading for just the second time in this game. Dubinsky able to get the kind roll. And now South Carolina State with their biggest lead of the game on a 5-0 run to start the second half. And they'll look to extend it. Up the floor. Here's Johnson. Blocked down by Horton. A clean pack.
And McKenzie's coming back into the ball game. Here's the replay coming up.
Wilson Dubinsky firing the Bulldogs into the lead.
Friendly roll that time for the Bulldogs.
Mitchell Taylor, trigger it in. Krosky has it knifed away. Losing the handle, Julius Ellerby.
And right now, everything that could go wrong is going wrong for the Coppin State Eagles. You get a steal and you kick it out of bounds.
So South Carolina State gets a bonus possession here. McKenzie goes inside for Drayton Jones. Just his third shot attempt of the game, and he puts it off the underside of the iron. Davion Everett able to clean it up, +1.
And right now, the Bulldogs are showing that championship grit. It's one thing when you start winning, you believe you're supposed to win in some kind of way. They've won 9 in a row versus Coppin State, who's won 5 games all season, or 4, whatever it is, and that's showing right now that the Bulldogs feel like, hey, we've worked too hard to be in this situation where we're not winning this basketball game.
Coppin State, beside Maryland Eastern Shore, a tough sledding early on, but put it together late. Picked up that win late in the season against Morgan State. Have won 2 of their last 4. Trying to find a way to punch a ticket to Friday. Inside, and a spin inside. Kind roll from one end, and this time it goes for Peter Oduro on the opposite side.
Oduro was tough that time because the Bulldogs were really swarming him.
Mitchell Taylor looking for an opening. He finds McKenzie instead. His pass errant, looking for Jones. Pinballs around, they'll say last touch by Oduro.
And the way the officials are calling the game, John, it's to the Bulldogs' favor because they are letting them play. And they're a physical group, and they've got bodies to constantly throw at you.
And Mitchell Teal finds Mitchell Taylor at 3 to beat the horn. Is no good. You see on the bottom of your screen the bench points for South Carolina State. 29 of them. We talked about this is how South Carolina State operates.
Right. Strength in numbers.
Coppin State with just 7 points coming off the bench. Oduro trying to operate the dribble handoff. Needs some help. 10 seconds now for CSU on this offensive possession. Floater from the right elbow was missed. Oduro tries to find it inside. Able to shovel this one and keep it alive for Cameron Sparrow, and he's able to help buy his team 2 free throws.
I tell you what, great effort that time by Oduro to get on the floor to tip the ball to his teammate. I think you got now Sparrow going to the free throw line for 2 potential free throws.
South Carolina State trailed to start the second half, but now they lead by 5.
Target me.
A look at the score by half so far here. Just 5 minutes or 4 minutes in here. South Carolina State outscoring Coppin State 11-2 here in this second half. Saw South Carolina State trailed by 4, but now they're up by 5.
It's just the opposite from the first half. If you remember, Coppin State jumped out to like a 10-2 lead, so it's just the reversed right now. What's important now is to see if Coppin State can handle the high level of intensity pressure that South Carolina is putting on the Eagles. They have upped their intensity as far as the pressure is concerned.
Cameron Sparrow nearly misses the first of two. He was fouled by Colin McKenzie. He got his first. Team foul number 1 in the second half. And that one does fall for Sparrow. Now a 4-point game. Coppin State applying full court pressure, but they'll back it off after this one is inbounded to set up the floor. Michael Teal walks it across the timeline. Drive on the baseline, Taylor. Back out McKenzie. Can't hit that one to stay hot. His first miss tonight.
First miss of the night. Excellent execution by the Bulldogs. McKenzie just missed the shot.
Here's Toby Nadozie matched with McKenzie now. Ward looking to drive right side. Oduro spots up baseline jumper. Goes out, but a foul on the rebound attempt goes against SC State. Davion Everett in the area, and that is going to be his foul, his first.
Great hustle that time by Sparrow. He actually beat Everett to the ball. Everett got called coming over the back.
Everett, the 6th player of the year in the MEAC. About the 3rd or 4th year that they've given out that award. Drive in inside, contested at the iron, but a foul drawn. This one is going to go against Mitchell Taylor. 13, Drayton Jones, his first. So Cameron Sparrow is going to head back to the line here. One more look inside.
So you have Sparrow here now at the free throw line. Was 1 for 2 at his last time at the charity stripe. Makes the first one. I think, Jonathan, we're going to have a white knuckler. I believe this game is going to go down to the end.
And this is what you sign up for once the calendar rolls to the 3rd month of the year. That one rolls off. Seen so many fantastic games. I know, Coach, you've coached probably a lot of great games here.
Yes, sir.
Inside, double team. Jones. Offensive foul called against Drayton Jones. They get him for the hook, and that's his first.
That's his first. They're really trying to do a conscientious effort of getting the basketball to Mr. Jones, because they know their bread is buttered through him. But again, Coppin is doing. Now the Bulldogs are showing a 1-3-1 half-court trap. This is something that Coppin hadn't seen all this half, and they're putting it on him at a perfect time.
Toby Nadozie sails through the air but can't finish. Michael Teal gets the board.
The great half that Nadozie had. Oh, great play by Nadozie.
Gives it right to Nadozie. And a foul is drawn here. Bodies flying everywhere. Coppin State player worse for wear after everything comes through.
Nadozie gave a great effort play that last time. Here it is right here. He kept running and ends up getting a steal because of his effort.
And after the play, Cameron Sparrow got shaken up. Just down on the floor, got helped up. Not quite sure what's ailing him, but he's able to play it off right now. Has it in the right corner. Ten to shoot now. Darius Ward. Jump pass goes out for Harrison. 5 seconds. Harrison on the fade. Left it short. Rebounded inside by Oduro, and he's able to shield and knock it in. CSU back within one.
Right place at the right time. Oduro's having a nice game.
Here's Drayton Jones driving right side. Oh, power move on the baseline.
Don't be so mean, young fella. Throwing it down.
And it took some extra strength because he almost got denied by the iron.
By the rim. Rim almost blocked it.
3-point game. Winner of this game goes on to the semifinal round on Friday. Will face either North Carolina Central or Delaware State And Michael Teal fired up as he draws the offensive foul from CSU.
Great defensive positioning that time by Michael Steele. Those are the kind of things that do not go into the stat sheet, but those are the kind of things that win you MEAC championships. Great defensive effort by Teal.
Illegal screen set by Darius Ward, his first. Team foul number 3 in the second half for CSU, 5 for South Carolina State. The Bulldogs cradling a 3-point lead. They trailed for the majority of the first half. Drayton Jones, left-hand hook. Missed off the left side. Bodies flying everywhere, but it's Coppin State who gets the ball. Chained ahead for Nadozi. Able to stumble the defender. Lost the handle on it. Here come the Bulldogs flying back opposite way. Teal leads the break. Left it short. Second chance missed. Third. Won't be taken. Bulldogs almost turn it over again. And Dubinsky from the MEAC logo left it short. And this is turning into a war of attrition. You look at the top of your screen, limping up the floor is Julius Ellerby III.
And if it's a war of attrition, it's in the Bulldogs' favor because they have more depth.
Here's a drive from Nadozi, looking for help. 10 to shoot. Secondary drive, Nadozi at the free throw line. Pivots, finds himself open, and splashes from the free throw line. Timeout taken on the floor.
And Nadozi really needed to make that shot because as well as he was playing in the first half, he was having that much more difficulty here in the second half. But did you see the replay? A nice little step back, held his pivot foot, and knocked the shot. That may build his confidence back up because he's going to keep shooting. But now he's made one, and in fact, he just had to go out of the game.
And Julius Ellerby, we saw him limping up the floor. He's now being worked on by the Coppin State athletic training staff. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he returns. Drayton Jones in the corner. Aiden Johnson now finds Teal. 10 to shoot. Teal slices through. Corner jumper from Johnson. Good. That's for 2.
Big shot by the young freshman from Brooklyn, New York, Jaden Johnson.
Under 12 to play here. 3-point ball game. And this one knocked out of bounds by Omar Krosky. Coppin State will keep it, trying to find a way to pull back in front of this game and shock the league. One more look at the jumper in the corner, knocked down by Jaden Johnson.
Big shot by Mr. Johnson.
Just coaching at his alma mater, representing it in the same way that he did when he was a student athlete there. 2-time MEAC Player of the Year winner, and one of 2 Coppin State Eagles to play in the NBA.
Tell you what, he was a great all-around player, had great offensive skills. I coached against Larry for a number of years, and he got a chance to play a few years in the NBA, and it's turned out to be an excellent basketball coach. I'm happy for him to be able to come back to his alma mater and lead the Coppin State Eagles.
Only player in school history with over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Went on to apply his trade for Washington, Vancouver's, and Seattle. The Bullets, the Grizzlies, and the Supersonics.
I tell you what, 999 of those 1,000 probably were against me.
You remember him pretty well, huh?
Oh, no doubt.
That's Coach Cy Alexander. I'm Jonathan Duran. Thanks for joining us here Wednesday night. First round of the 2025 MEAC Basketball Championship. The quick foul called on the floor. Looks like it's going to go against Davion Everett.
And what I'm seeing from the Eagles is they're not playing with a lot of poise right now. And give that credit to South Carolina State's defense. They make you play outside of your comfort level. And if you try to do things that are not fundamentally sound against the Bulldogs, it's going to create a turnover. And right now, the Coppin State Eagles have 13 turnovers, and they only had, I think, 4 or 5 in the first half. South Carolina State is playing this game under double digits as far as turnovers are concerned.
Coppin State trying to make something happen in offense here. It's Ward going inside for Odura. Able to pump fake one and put it in off the window.
A nice foot movement that time by Oduro. He gathered himself. He was strong with the ball, and he didn't rush it. Those kind of things normally end up in a turnover. Excellent. Here it is right here. Watch the post up, seal, step, gather himself, show the ball, kiss it off the glass. Excellent offensive maneuver that time by Peter Oduro.
6'8" junior from Gainesville, Virginia, transferred from George Mason. Finally, Horton is called for a whistle away from the ball. He gets his second. That's now team foul number 5 for Coppin State. South Carolina State now inbounds from the baseline. Johnson fighting through, lost the handle. It finds Jones. He stumbles to the floor. Out of bounds. Bulldogs keep it, but what a disjointed possession.
I like that word.
Coppin State serving a dose of South Carolina State's own medicine.
And normally, the possession for Jones, that's normally called traveling because he picked both feet up while he was on the deck.
Teal trying to go downhill. McCarty, jumper inside the arc, off the heel. Rebounded by Coppin State. They're going to run with it. Ward leads the charge. Gets down to the baseline. Sends it back out. Now CSU in the half court. Chance to regain the lead. Coppin State so far in this game has led for almost 21 minutes. But they trail right now. Shot missed inside. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. They push it. Teal to McKenzie. Teal goes inside. Jones. Now Johnson looking for help. McCarty wins his way to the paint. Now go inside Jones. 10 seconds. Missed on the left side.
Good ball movement that time by the Bulldogs. Jones, just because he hadn't taken a lot of shots, he's just not feeling very comfortable right now in the low post. Give that credit to Coppin State Eagles.
Coach, your prediction of a white knuckler seems to be coming true here. Drive inside. Loose on the floor. It's a tie-up. 2 thumbs. It'll go to South Carolina State. So high-effort plays from both teams. This time, South Carolina State the winners as they'll get the ball. So for Coppin State, they trail by 1 right now. What is it going to take for them to be able to grab the win here and get the upset?
If they can't handle the all-out pressure and be a little more fundamentally sound versus you can't do things, Jonathan, in this game one-handed, catching it and moving. You got to look the ball in. You got to catch it strong, keep it strong, and you got to be fundamentally sound, or you're not going to beat this South Carolina State team because their defense intensity and their pressure is going to be relentless. If they could do that, they'll be okay, but they've got to make sure that they're disciplined versus the full court pressure, all-out pressure by the Bulldogs.
Teal steps through 2 defenders. Here's Dubinsky, corner 3. Count it.
Excellent offensive execution that time. They set that up off the weave with a corner baseline screen. Dubinsky knocked down the 3. That puts them up 4.
Just the second 3-pointer in this half for South Carolina State. 4-point lead. Coppin State avoids the travel. Ward on the right side. Inside out dribble. Flashes open. Can't convert. And a chance now for the Bulldogs to run. Their bench was chanting defense down the stretch. They're feeling the momentum on their side now. Teal will circulate the offense. Off the hesitation, driving left side to the paint. Left it short. Now a burst of speed running through is Julius Ellerby. He'll head to the line. He left this game earlier, cramping up. Now being helped up by his teammates.
As he saw a slight little crack right here, that's a nice pass that time over to Dubinsky. He knocked that three-point shot down.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hot.
Champ Week happens across the city and around the country in many fine cities, but there are a few finer than Norfolk, Virginia.
I tell you, I'm enjoying being here, and the crowd, the effort level that both teams have given in these two ball games has been outstanding, and and it's just going to get better and better as you move towards the ultimate goal of winning that championship on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Rolled in here yesterday, Coach, on Tuesday. The food scene here in Norfolk, Virginia is incredible.
Yes, I love the seafood here.
Always unbelievable. Love being here in this part of the country, especially coming here to Norfolk, Virginia.
I tell you what, these are huge free throws right here for Ellerby.
Fouled right before the break. Transfer from Eastern Michigan. Started 11 games this year. Appeared in 25. Ellerby so far in this game, 3 points, make it 4. Now trying to tack on one more. And knock that one down, and it is a 3-point lead for South Carolina State. With Coach Cy Alexander, I'm Jonathan Duran saying hello here from Scope Arena. We'll be here all week long, leading up to the championship game on Saturday afternoon. You can follow it all on ESPN Plus and on the ESPN family of networks. Dubinsky, 3-ball, good, even as he's covered.
He is a solid three-point shooter and has been doing that all season for the Bulldogs, shooting 41% from the three-point line. What an effective weapon he and McKenzie are from that three-point line.
40 is elite territory, is a steal from Davion Everett. And good defense from behind. Cameron Brown able to stop what could have been an easy 2 points.
Great effort by that time by Cameron Brown. He never gave up on the play. Big offensive possession here for the Bulldogs. Could take a 6-point lead up to a 9-point lead.
Everett can't convert inside. And here comes CSU. Ward off the crossover. Puts it off the side of the glass.
And again, I hate to keep harping on it, but the reality is the reality. Coppin is being very undisciplined on the offensive end, and the reason is the pressure is making them not play within a system. They're trying things that, you can't win.
It's Taylor able to slice his way through with the finger roll.
Nice dribble penetration that time by Mitchell Taylor.
Stumbling his way through was Harrison, able to drop it off. And Harrison, I think, is an avatar of all of the players on the floor in that moment.
Right.
He turned and asked the referee with his palms open, because I'm pretty sure on both sides there have been some calls they would have wanted to happen. Ball comes loose, out of bounds, last touch by the Bulldogs. Coppin State ball.
Quick hands that time by the Eagles. Big possession right now for the Coppin State Eagles. Can they do something within their system and not just try to throw up something that is a hope and a prayer?
Zari Harrison lost his boot. Retied and put it back on. Looked like he shuffled off a brace as well, possibly. Harrison pivoting. He needs some help. Able to pass it before the 5 count. Here's Horton in the corner. Tries to go off glass. Blocked away. Getting a hand on it was South Carolina State's Drayton Jones, and a hard collision on the opposite side.
And that was great defense on the other end by Drayton Jones on that block. Moved his feet real well. We got a little words exchanged here, getting heated with 5:30 to go.
And the referees are going to send both teams to their corners. They're going to make the sign to recycle. They're going to come back over and say hello to us over here in press row.
I hear you.
So on one end, we had the huge block by Drayton Jones. And it comes back to the other side. The big collision. And now they're going to talk it over. It seemed that there was just a hard foul. But then, after the foul occurred, there was a little bit of talk. And then the pushing and shoving happened. Nothing really popped off.
I don't really think it's worth any, text or anything like that, or anybody being disqualified. There was some, here we go right here. We see it. It was a hard foul. They landed on each other.
As
excessive, right. Yes, sir.
So it looked like it was Omar Krosky who was in there first. He saw the Coppin State player standing or lying on top of his teammate. And the first thing he did was he grabbed his leg. And he, not so forcefully, but...
Hey, we want to take a look at the last play. We want to make sure there was nothing excessive.
Omar Krosky comes in and he sees Zari Harrison on top of Dubinsky. You'll see Krosky right from the right side. Foul happens here. Dubinsky's fouled. He goes down. Harrison rolls on top of him. Krosky comes in and moves Harrison's leg away. Harrison didn't quite like it.
But there was really nothing after that,
So as it is right now, it appears to just be, I don't even think they called a foul.
They had to call a foul.
They're good.
But beyond that, I don't see anything excessive. I think the officials looked at it pretty quickly and walked away. Or they either didn't like our company or something. I don't know which one it was.
After review, it's a common foul on the floor stance.
Just what we said. It was just a common foul and keep it moving.
Who wouldn't enjoy our company, Coach? We are magnetic people. We deserve to be visited.
I agree.
So a common foul after everything is said and done. And it goes against Zari Harrison. He gets a second. And that is now the 6th against CSU in the second half. So both teams effectively in the bonus for the remainder of the game.
Free throws and handling pressure right now is going to determine whether Coppin State can actually get back in this game. How South Carolina State makes free throws down the stretch is going to be vitally important, because the officials, you're going to probably see the officials tighten up just a little bit so the game does not get out of control based on that last play on the baseline. So they're going to probably call it just a little tighter. Now both teams are in the 1-and-1. Who can finish the deal at against their pressure, you're going to turn it over.
Drayton Jones looking for help. Drives in. The two very large afroed forwards. Time Oduro able to come away the victor. Drive on the left side. LRB off the Euro step.
Oh, nice Euro step, as you just called it.
And LRB able to stop this miniature run for South Carolina State. Teal directing traffic. Guarded very tightly at center court, and it's stolen away. Ellerby puts it in. Nearly trips over himself. It stays upright. 4-point game. It's Coppin State defense able to take advantage in the same ways as South Carolina State. Jones has the handoff denied. Goes down low, Krosky. Krosky lost it on the first time and is fouled on the second time. It's going to go against Toby Nadozie. And believe it or not, that's just his second. Bulldogs up by 4, trying to bring it home. Wilson Dubinsky with a cool 20 points, 4 for 5 from downtown, 7 of 10 from the floor, and he's been a big factor of the reason why South Carolina State is leading this game right now.
I tell you what, he's done an outstanding job offensively, has been clutch on his three-point shot opportunities, and again, like I said, you had 2 three-point specialists for the Bulldogs. McKenzie in the first half kept them close. Dubinsky in the second half has taken them over the top, and their defense has stepped up, the defensive pressure, and has created a lot of offensive miscues by the Coppin State Eagles. And again, this game comes down to, Jonathan, one team that's on a 9-game winning streak and understands what it takes to win. Another team that's had a really tough go of it and really still doesn't understand what it takes to win, and that's the Coppin State Eagles, and that's what Coach Stewart is basically fighting through. Coach Martin has gone through that the last couple of years, but seems to now to have broken through and got his team in a winning mental posture.
South Carolina State looking for their 10th win on the trot, and that'll get them into semifinal Friday.
Dubinsky has 20 points, and they've done it with their 2 leading scorers only scoring 3 points and 4 points.
On the
Jones and Krosky.
On the other end, Toby Nadozie has 14 for Coppin State. 2 for 4 from the perimeter, 6 of 14 from the floor. And Nadozie with the rock now with 8 seconds to shoot. Lost it off his shoe, and it goes out of bounds.
See, that's just what I just said. That's the difference between a team that's won 4 games versus a team that has won 18 to 19 games, and that's what you're seeing here. That's the reason South Carolina State is probably going to be victorious in this game tonight. They are believing that they're supposed to win.
3 minutes and change to go. Davion Everett goes right into the teeth of the Coppin State defense, and he can't hit the floater. Up the floor, here comes Harrison. Inside for Oduro. Hammered, hits it, plus the foul.
Good hands that time, good follow through. And Oduro has been a big, big key for the Coppin State Eagles. He does not want to go home. 64-60, he makes this one, you're only down 1 possession. Good hands, good ball fake.
We've seen him with that pump fake a couple of times down on the same end. He sent Colin McKenzie flying through the air one time earlier. And now here's a 3-point play opportunity. Sends the Eagles within 3. Under 3 to play here. The winner of this game will face either North Carolina Central or Delaware State. Dubinsky.
South Carolina State running their motion offense right now. 5 out. No post action.
Taylor goes inside for Jones. Lost the handle on it, but they'll whistle a foul against CSU. It'll be 1-1. This is on the floor.
And you never know, that might be a good foul based on the fact that Drayton Jones is not a great foul shooter. So you got a 1-and-1, and he goes to the line right now, shooting 69% from the field. If he makes both of them, it was a bad foul. If he misses, it was a good foul.
Pressure here on the front end. He makes it, and he earns the bonus.
Stepped up, held his follow through, shot it with a lot of confidence. Big shot for the big fella.
Drayton Jones, a 6'11 sophomore out of the Bayou City of Houston, Texas. Makes both.
Those are huge for the Bulldogs. And he works out with John Lucas in the summertime.
2.5 minutes remaining, 5-point game. Ellerby, he just picked up his second foul. Asking for some help. Gets it from Oduro. Harrison trying to dribble his way to the baseline. 10 seconds. Puts it off the window. Gets his own board. 5 seconds. It didn't draw iron. And that doesn't either. Blocked away. He's down. Trying to dribble his way to the baseline. 10 seconds. Puts it off the window. Gets his own board. 5 seconds. It didn't draw iron. And that doesn't either. Blocked away. He's down behind the play. Krosky is going to travel with it. But Coppin State is down. Zari Harrison holding on to his leg, and he is down on his back.
And he never got up from the last play when he got nailed. He is in some pain. He's trying to get up now to shake it off. But again, it still goes back to what I'm saying is that the Coppin State Eagles have got to be a lot more disciplined on the offensive end to attack the Bulldogs' overly aggressive defense. You should, against this kind of defense, you got to run a lot of backdoor action to take the pressure off. And you just can't do it off of dribble, and attack. It just doesn't work.
Harrison now standing off the end of the bench. We'll see if he comes back in. Ward finds Horton. This three is no good. Rebounded inside. Oduro fighting through, trying to get a shot up, but sends it back out for Horton. Horton hurricanes to the paint. Missed off the left side. Rebounded by SC State. I bet you, Coach, all these people watching around in Baltimore and Orangeburg, their fists are getting tighter.
Give the Bulldogs a lot of credit. They really stepped up their defensive intensity in the second half to create the situation that puts them in the front with about 1:20 to go.
And to win that one, Coppin State trying to find a way to finish the job.
Again, Coppin State, they need a defense to stop here, but they've got to be a lot more disciplined and a lot more fundamental against South Carolina State's all-out pressure. They've done an excellent job in just disrupting the Eagles in the second half. That's
Ty Alexander. I'm Jonathan Duran. Buckle up. We got a good one going down the stretch here. 5-point lead for the number 2 seeded South Carolina State Bulldogs. They give it up. Here comes Coppin State at the floor. Darius Ward looking a little worse for wear also. Inside, here's Oduro. And he's been the man for CSU. And Darius Ward is now doubled over and is going to walk off the floor here.
Yeah, that's a nice replay that time. I'm so impressed with the fundamental skills of Peter Oduro. He catches the ball strong. He uses that pump fake really, really well. And so far tonight, he's been the man offensively for the Eagles, especially in the clutch. But again, the Eagles You know, they're only shooting like 60% from the free throw line, and right now they need stops, and they need to be able to execute.
Under a minute to go. Darius Ward off the floor. The Bulldogs now ready to work against the press. And they give it away. Holly Horton. Chance now for CSU to tie it up if they hit a triple. Ellerby looking for help. Here
Shot clock
is Nadozie. 3 seconds. Nadozie, 2 seconds. Nadozie doesn't see the timer. Oh my goodness. And Larry Stewart
is livid.
Oh, good gracious.
This reminds me of the game the other night. I got a chance to watch my old team play Tennessee State. And they had 25 seconds to go at the end of the ball game, and they didn't get a shot off. It's amazing. And you come up with a big steal like that, and you don't get a shot off.
A near second chance for Coppin State, but the Bulldogs hold on. Kroski, double team, drives through, nearly lost it again.
Time steal, and you don't get a shot off. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And now here's 2 free throws for South Carolina State.
And the big fella went to the line the last time, knocked down 2. He's got 2 this time. These could ice the game.
This is a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Oh, okay, 1-and-1.
Coppin State, that was their last foul to give before sending South Carolina State into the double bonus. Jones makes it, earns the extra. 4-point game. This one can make it 5. And Drayton Jones has walked all the way to midcourt here as they're taking time to dry off the ball. Drayton Jones has walked all the way to midcourt here as they're taking time to dry off the ball.
He definitely wanted to get his head together.
Knows how important this free throw is. Connects.
4 for 4 in the last minute of the ball game was Drayton Jones.
10 seconds. Nadozie driving in. Has it blocked away by Jones, and that could be the killer. Drayton Jones has been a brick wall inside for South Carolina State all day today.
I tell you what, I'm more impressed with the great defense that he's been doing all year, but a big man who's not a great free throw shooter in the clutch has walked to the line 4 consecutive times and gone 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
How's this for a stat line? 7 points, 5 rebounds, 5 blocks for Drayton Jones.
That's just getting it done. And that's doing what you do, and you really did not get involved offensively because Coppin did a great job of defending you, but you did all the little things, and most importantly, you made 4 straight free throws in the clutch that basically will seal this basketball game for the Bulldogs.
And now Coppin State trails by 5 with 4 seconds remaining.
It'll be a miracle for them to win this one. And miracles happen in March sometimes.
They sure do. I don't know if you saw last night with Halliburton. 4-point play for Indianapolis.
Yeah, I did. I saw it on SportsCenter when I got into my room late last night. I saw it on SportsCenter.
With 1 second to go, makes a 3-pointer foul, makes the free throw, and wins the game for the Pacers.
Yeah.
Can Coppin State pull the rabbit out of the hat? Ellerby will trigger it in. Goes to Nadozie. 3 ball. That's no good, and that is it. South Carolina State survives, and they move on to Friday.
The Bulldogs showed a lot of resiliency in the second half with their defensive effort. It was the difference in the basketball game. On the offensive end, give McKenzie a lot of credit for keeping them close in the first half. Give Dubinsky a lot of credit in the second half, who put them in the lead. And most importantly, give the Bulldogs credit for the defensive effort that they showed their entire game. And in the end, the big fella went 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
20 points for Wilson Dubinsky, and now half of our semifinalists set. Tomorrow we'll get the other half. Will it be Howard or Morgan State? Will it be Delaware State or North Carolina Central? We'll find out tomorrow here at Scope Arena. So thank you to our SIDs, to everybody here at the MEAC, to our production crew within the truck. For Cy Alexander, I'm Jonathan Duran saying good night from Scope Arena. Final score, South Carolina State 68, Coppin State 63, and we'll tie up the second half of the quarterfinals tomorrow. Good night.